The cruel truth is this: avoidants don't push you away because they don't care. They push you away because they're terrified of just how much you actually matter. Think about it. If you meant nothing, there would be no fear, no walls, no running. Indifference doesn't panic, but the avoidant does panic. The second they feel your closeness, to you it looks like rejection. The cold text, the sudden silence, the vanishing act right after a moment of connection. But underneath that mask of distance, their nervous system is screaming, "This is too much, but please don't leave me." That's the paradox. The harder they push, the more they secretly crave your regulated presence, not your chasing, not your begging, not your emotional chaos. They crave the steady, grounded energy that says, "I'm here, I'm not demanding, and I'm not going to abandon you." But here's the trap. Most people see the pushing away, and they give up. They leave. They confirm the very fear the avoidant was running from in the first place. And that's why the cycle repeats: distance, panic, longing, collapse. What the avoidant cannot tell you is this: they don't want your absence. They don't want your retreat. They want your calm strength, the kind that makes closeness feel safe instead of suffocating. So the paradox remains. Avoidants push you away, not to reject you, but to test if the bond can survive their fear. And until you understand that hidden test, you'll always mistake their deepest longing for their coldest rejection. Picture this. You send them a text, warm, thoughtful, maybe even a little vulnerable. You hope they'll respond with the same energy. But what comes back? Just 2 letters. Okay. Cold, flat, empty, as if you opened your heart, and they shut the door right in your face. The closer you try to move toward them, the further they quietly step back. You reach out your hand. They build an invisible wall, and the strangest part, they call it independence, as if they're saying, "I don't need anyone. I'm fine on my own." But here's the truth, that so-called independence is nothing more than a mask. It's their first line of defense, a mask so well rehearsed that it convinces you they don't even care about emotions, closeness, or connection. Yet underneath, the story couldn't be more different. That coldness, those short replies, the sudden withdrawals, they're not random. They're signals from what I call their autonomy preservation radar. It's like an internal alarm system that screams, "Too close, too risky, danger of being hurt again." And so they push you away, not because you're unworthy, not because they truly want distance, but because their nervous system is trained to equate closeness with danger. But here's where the paradox begins. The more they push you away, the more they're secretly watching to see, will you stay? Will you hold steady even when I turn cold? You see, their withdrawal isn't just avoidance, it's also a test they don't even consciously realize they're giving, a test they themselves are terrified you'll fail. Because deep down, they're scared that if you walk away when they go cold, it will confirm their deepest fear, that love never lasts. And this is the great irony. When an avoidant pushes you the hardest, that's often the moment they want you the most. On the surface, their actions scream, "Stay away." But underneath, their soul is whispering, "Please, don't leave." This surface push, this cold front, it's not rejection, it's the first clue, a hidden signal pointing to the one thing they secretly crave more than anything: your calm, steady, unshakable presence. And what happens when you decode this signal? That's where the story gets even more fascinating. Let me paint you a picture. You lean in, you send that thoughtful text, you open your heart just a little, and suddenly, the avoidant who a moment ago seemed warm, even present, goes cold. They pull back, stop replying, maybe even snap at you, and you're left asking yourself, what just happened? Did I do something wrong? No, you didn't do anything wrong. What you just witnessed is their hidden machinery at work. their autonomy preservation radar. This radar is like a silent bodyguard living inside them, always scanning, always searching, always ready to shout. Too close. Danger. Imagine a submarine sonar pinging the ocean, except instead of detecting enemies, it detects intimacy. The moment you step closer, with affection, with attention, with genuine love, the alarm goes off. Their nervous system panics, and in that split second, they don't see you as safe. They see you as a threat. But here's the heartbreaking truth. They don't even realize this is happening. They think they're just protecting their space, or needing independence. In reality, it's old programming, written long ago. Childhood wounds. A parent who was too distant, or too inconsistent. A moment where closeness meant disappointment, where vulnerability led to pain. Their mind learned one lesson: don't need anyone. If you let someone in, you lose. So what happens now? They crave closeness, but they run from it. They want your warmth, but their radar labels it as fire. They long for connection, but connection feels like drowning. That's the great paradox. The avoidant pushes away what they want the most. And this is where most people get trapped. They take the push personally. They think, they must not care about me. But the truth is far more complex. They do care. Deep down, they secretly ache for your regulated presence. But until they learn to quiet that radar, until their system rewires, their instinct will always be distance first, intimacy later. So next time they push you away, remember this: behind that cold front isn't rejection, it's fear. A fear so old and so powerful that even love feels like danger. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. Every time they pull away, every sudden cold text, every I need space moment, it feels personal, almost like a rejection. Your heart races. Your mind screams, do they not care? Am I not enough? Here's the truth no one tells you. It's not about you, not even a little. That push, that distance is only the surface. The real story is buried deep, where fear and desire collide in a way that even they barely understand. Behind every withdrawal lies a secret craving. Yes, the very thing they cannot admit, the thing they try to hide from themselves, the thing that terrifies them as much as it pulls them in. They want closeness, they want intimacy, they want you to stay, even when they act like they don't. Think about it. Their outward coldness is a mask, a perfectly engineered shield that keeps you at bay while their heart beats wildly under the surface. It's a paradox so intense that it could shatter your understanding of love. They push, but inside, they ache for presence. Every short reply, every sudden silence, every invisible wall, it's their subconscious test. Will you stay? Will you remain steady even when I run? Their fear doesn't cancel their desire, it magnifies it. Every rejection, every moment of distance, is tangled with longing. They are silently scanning, measuring, calculating whether they can trust you with the piece of themselves they've buried under years of defense. And this is the explosive truth your title hints at. They push you away, but secretly, they want this from you. That calm, unshakable presence, that unwavering energy that shows intimacy, doesn't have to destroy them. That one thing they can't say, but can't stop craving. This hidden paradox is what makes loving and avoidance simultaneously maddening and magnetic. It explains every confusing push and pull, every moment you question reality, every time your heart latches onto the hope that maybe today they'll let you in. And here's the hook. In the next part, we decode exactly what they crave, how it hides in plain sight, and why it's the key to cracking the avoidant code. Stay with me, because this is where everything changes. Stop for a second and really feel this. Every time they pull away, every short reply, every sudden coldness, it's not what it seems. You think it's rejection. You think it's distance. You think your love isn't enough. But here's the secret. Nobody tells you. It's not about you. It's about something far deeper, far more magnetic, and far more forbidden than words can describe. Inside every avoidant lies a hidden system, a secret wiring I call the forbidden need circuit. Imagine it as a radar, buried deep in their psyche, constantly scanning for one thing, a presence that is steady, safe, and unwavering, a presence that whispers without speaking, I am here, I will not demand, I will not judge, I will simply be. And here comes the paradox. The very thing they fear most, the closeness that terrifies them, is also what they secretly crave. Every push, every wall, every cold, distant move is their survival mechanism. But behind that shield beats a pulse of longing, so intense it could shatter reality if revealed. This is exactly what your title hints at. They push you away, but secretly want this from you. That this is not drama, not empty words, not desperate gestures. It's the invisible, consistent energy that tells them they can be close without losing themselves. And here's the mind-blowing part. The moment you step back, when you give them space while remaining emotionally present, their circuit lights up. It begins quietly, subtly, wiring them to crave you even more. Think about it. Every sudden distance, every cold text, every invisible wall is secretly paired with a whisper deep inside. I want to feel them here. I want them near. But I'm terrified. I'll be consumed. Their fear amplifies desire. Their avoidance sharpens craving. And the result is a psychological storm where push and pull exist simultaneously. Now imagine knowing this. Understanding this flips the narrative entirely. What felt like rejection becomes revelation. What felt like coldness becomes the spark of hidden longing. This is the first key to decoding the avoidant mind. The moment you realize their push is not the absence of desire, but the presence of a hidden, unspoken need. And here's the hook that will keep you glued. In the next part, we'll uncover why they cannot admit this longing, why fear dominates, and how this invisible tug-of-war silently controls every interaction. Stay with me, because the real secret of this in your title is about to explode in plain sight. Here's the brutal truth about avoidance. The more they push you away, the more they are secretly wired to crave you. Every cold text, every withdrawal, every wall they build. It's not a lack of interest. It's a paradox, a collision between fear and desire that they cannot put into words. Their conscious mind screams distance, space, independence. It's a survival code, a shield honed from past wounds, fears, and emotional vulnerability. They pull back, they hide, they create invisible barriers, and on the surface, it looks like rejection. Every short reply, every delayed response, every casual deflection reinforces the illusion. They don't want me, they don't care, I'm not enough. But here's where the paradox lives. Beneath that cold exterior beats an unseen craving. Their subconscious is quietly, persistently wiring itself to seek closeness, safe acceptance, and non-judgmental love. Every push, every wall, every step back is secretly paired with an internal whisper. I want them near. I need their presence. I crave the comfort of their regulated energy. This push-pull tension is why loving an avoidant feels like dancing on a razor's edge. You are never sure if you are too close or too far. You are never sure if your love is noticed or ignored. Their surface actions confuse, frustrate, and destabilize, not because they don't feel, but because the very act of admitting that they desire your presence triggers fear, fear of vulnerability, fear of losing control, fear of being overwhelmed. These dominate their conscious mind. Yet, desire doesn't vanish. It lingers quietly, manifesting in small, unpredictable moments. A lingering glance, a soft tone, a subtle need for reassurance. Every step they take away from you is secretly matched by an internal pull toward you, a magnetic force they cannot openly acknowledge. This is exactly what your title promises. They push you away, but secretly want this from you. Understanding this paradox reframes confusion into clarity. The coldness is not disinterest. The withdrawal is not rejection. It is fear and desire, locked in a silent battle, a battle that makes their actions unpredictable, yet their hidden longing undeniable. And here's the hook that keeps you glued in the next section. We'll reveal how you can recognize this craving without triggering their fear, and how subtle presence can make them crave you more, all without them even admitting it. This is the moment where the invisible tug-of-war becomes visible, and the this in your title begins to take shape in real life. Here's the truth that most people miss. Avoidants don't just pull away out of indifference. They secretly long for something specific, something so subtle, yet so powerful, that most partners never notice it. It's not a declaration, not a grand gesture. It's the quiet, invisible signals that tell them, you are safe here, you are not judging me, you do not demand more than I can give. This is what I call the craving trigger. The invisible switch inside their mind that awakens desire, even when they are pushing you away. Every time you remain calm in the face of distance, every time you show up consistently without pressure, you activate their forbidden need circuit. Their fear is still there, but now it collides with a craving that pulls them back toward you, quietly, invisibly, irresistibly. What they secretly crave is simple in concept, but devastatingly powerful in effect: safe acceptance, a presence that doesn't demand explanations, a space where they can drop their defenses without judgment. This is the unspoken sanctuary they crave, but never admit exists. Non-judgmental presence. They want to be seen without critique, without analysis, without being told how they should feel or act. Every subtle gesture that communicates, I see you, and I'm not trying to fix you, triggers the hidden longing they cannot articulate. Love without pressure. The ultimate paradox. They want your love, but they cannot handle its weight when it comes with expectation. Giving them connection without urgency, affection without obligation, is like unlocking a secret part of their brain that has been dormant for years. This is why your title makes perfect sense. They push you away but secretly want this from you. This is not manipulation, not strategy, not drama. It's your regulated, emotionally stable presence, the kind of energy that says, I am here, I accept you as you are, and I do not demand your surrender. And here's the hook that makes it impossible to look away. In the next part, we'll decode the ultimate secret they can't resist, but can't openly ask for. The very thing that flips their push into craving. The exact psychological truth that, once understood, changes everything about loving an avoidant forever. This moment marks the peak of part 2, the revelation of their hidden desire, their forbidden need, and the subtle ways you unknowingly trigger it. Every pull, every push, every cold moment is simply the prelude to this silent, irresistible craving that defines their secret psychology. Stop for a moment and let this sink in. The avoidant who pushes you away is not rejecting you. They are not rejecting love itself. Every wall, every cold message, every withdrawal is not a statement against your affection. It is a battle against their own terror. The terror of needing someone, of letting themselves be seen, of surrendering to emotional closeness. Here's the heartbreak you rarely hear spoken aloud. What they secretly want most is exactly what their defenses will never allow them to receive. That safe, steady, non-judgmental presence you offer, the love without pressure, is the very thing that could soften their fears, that could bring them closer than they have ever dared to go. And yet, in their mind, closeness equals danger. Desire collides with fear. Love collides with terror. Every push you feel is secretly matched by a longing they cannot voice, cannot admit, cannot allow themselves to feel. This is the cruel beauty of the avoidant paradox. Their rejection is not of you, it is of vulnerability. Their distance is not of disinterest, it is a shield against their own unspoken need. And when you understand this truth, everything changes. You stop taking their push personally. You start seeing the hidden craving behind the coldness, You start recognizing the invisible signals that whisper, "I want you, but I am terrified to let you in." Remember this: your presence, your calm, your non-demanding love is not wasted. It is planting seeds in their subconscious, lighting a fire they cannot name. And that, my friend, is the power you hold. If this truth opened your eyes, if it made you rethink every push and pull you've experienced, hit subscribe and stay with me, because the deeper secrets of human connection, desire, and avoidance are just beginning. Understanding them will not just change your relationships, it will change the way you see love itself.